Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Marta, I come from Norway and I love makeup, and today I'm going to start a new series on my channel, which is basically that I make palettes inspired by photos that I've actually taken myself, like way back. So how I made those palette inspirations, I will just leave the photo for today. It's Harebell, and it's basically that in an editing program I take that tool where you can pick colors from the photo, and I just picked 6 colors and made this photo, and that is what I used to create a palette. So for this particular color story, these are the shadows that I picked out, and I will of course show you some swatches, so I will also leave all the names of the shadows down in my description box. But from my right to my left, which is opposite for you guys, this one is Queen of the Dark Drake by Tammy Tanuka. Then we have Charming Firebrand, also by Tammy Tanuka. Then we have JD Glow's Watermark. Then we have Makeup Addiction's Crushed Blueberry. We have Glaminatrix Bluebell, and then Colourpop Backstage. I'm just going to show you the swatches of the palette, and then we will move on to the look that I'm wearing right here. Starting with Crushed Blueberry, and I'm just putting that all over the outer crease, just so you're aware my puppy is playing, so if you hear any weird noises, that's it. It's not like I can tell him to stop play. So I'm just placing this here. As you can see, it's super pigmented. I'm using the Beautybay Base 2 today, and I don't want it to be too smoky, so I'm trying not to blend it too far up. Then I'm taking Colourpop Backstage. As you can see, that is quite a bright blue, and honestly it's like after using all these indie shadows, I don't find the Colourpop formula to be that good anymore. It's just like you can feel that there's a lot of base in it instead of pigment, so you have to like build it up. But it is perfect if you're a beginner, for example, so you don't feel comfortable adding like a ton of pigment immediately to your eye, and they do apply nicely. Now I'm taking the shade Bluebell. This shade will like tone down the bright blue a little bit because it's more of a periwinkle shade. And now you see that I have quite sharp edges, so I'm just going to go in with some setting powder to make sure that the tacky base, as you can see, it is wet still. So I want to set this part so I don't add pigment too far up. For setting powder, I'm using the Glam Shop setting powder. So I'm just going to continue working on the blending. As you can see, this base is wet, so the shadows need to be really packed on to make it matte. So I'll go back in with the other shades, and then I'll be ready to go in with the pigments. So I will say that I had to work a little bit extra for this blend, but it did end up nicely in my opinion. Of course, I'll have to work on that when I'm going to do my lower lash line, but for now I did apply glitter glue, and I am going in with the shade The Queen of the Dark Drake just here in the outer corner to have a little bit of definition also on the lid. And then I will use that green shade Charming Firebrand afterwards for most of my lid. Now I'm just blending those two together. Wow, I really love this green one. Obviously the dark one is also really beautiful, but my heart gravitates way more to brighter greens. Okay, so I'm back after doing my face makeup, and I did basically everything except for my lower lash line now, and I'll admit I did cheat a little bit with my eye look because I was not happy with the blending. As you can see now, it's almost perfect, and I used the lightest shade in the Glam Shop Niebieski 2020 palette because I knew that one would like cancel out all the patchiness that I was seeing. I do not think it's anything with a Glaminatrix shadow because I have used that one before and I really loved it. Which, by the way, is the one I'm taking now. I took that way too far down. But I have used it before and I have had no issues with it. So I think it was the combination of the base and the other shadows that I used. But anyway, I'm just going to add this one first. I will be using Watermark right here close to the lash line. So I just wanted to start with the lightest shade for once. And I'm just using this clean, or it's not clean because I used it with setting powder, but I'm just using that to diffuse it a little bit. And then I'm just going back and packing this where I want it. Now I'm taking a little bit of Backstage, which is that medium toned blue. I will just remind you that I've set my base. Oh, now I managed to get blue there. I have set my base underneath here, so this is how they apply on a very dry base. So there I applied crushed blueberries right here, and I will use some glitter glue and I will use Watermark all over the lash line. As for the face makeup that I used almost just Kaleidos products and they were gifted to me, but I used a Light and Cool contour kit by them, and then I used the pink blush that they have in that blush duo, and I used Skywalker, which I used both for my inner corner right here with glitter glue, and I used it on my face. So I just buffed it really nicely in because it's quite sparkly, but when you like buff it in and rub it in, then you kind of get more like a subtle and not such a glittery look. And this shade is probably one of my favorites in my whole collection. It's just such a beautiful dark blue shimmer shade. So I just added a little bit of crushed blueberry on the tip of this one just to kind of blend out the shimmer because it has a quite dark base. And now I'm taking Bluebell by Glaminatrix and I'm just buffing it out. And I think that's it, so I will just be adding some lashes and I'll show you some close-ups of this look. So that is the finished look and I personally really like it. If it wasn't for me drawing in that one lighter blue, I don't think I would have been happy with the blending, but I just felt like it was worth cheating a little bit to get that blend as nice as I wanted it to, and I personally really love this look. I love blue and green together, and these pigments are beautiful and they blended really nicely together, which almost surprised me a bit because they are kind of different in the sizes of the mica, so I thought that maybe they wouldn't blend that well together, but they did. As for the lip products that I used for this look, I will just leave it down below because I used some products from Glam shop, which are in Polish of course, so I don't know the names, but I also used my dramatized lip gloss from Kaleidos Makeup that they gifted to me, and I felt like that was really something my lips needed because they are really dry right now. But that is my finished look, and I hope that you like this new series that I'm going to be doing. I already have 2 more color stories that I have done with shadows already, because I put together these 3 color stories like months ago, before, like maybe in October or September in 2020. So it's really time for me to get these singles out of those palettes so I can use them for other things and other color stories. But yeah, I hope that you liked it. Please comment down below what you thought of this idea and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and you want to see more videos from me. And I do a lot of single shadows and tutorials and different content like that. But thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. Bye!